All right, hello and welcome to this broadcast of Ellenville Blue Devil football. It is the Ellenville Blue Devils taking on the Pine Plain Bombers, and it's the first game of the season that we are bringing to you on our broadcast networks. It is Friday, September the 10th. It is 7:06 p.m. local time here in Ellenville, and we are getting ready for the kickoff. Blue Devils going to be going from right to left. Pine Plains receiving going to be going from left to right. And again, this is Mr. Buckler. A big shout out to all my crew in the booth upstairs. Ariel and Gabe and Stefan. So a low kick and covered by Pine Plain. So they will begin their first possession of the day on their 43-yard line or thereabouts. So we do thank you for tuning in. This game was supposed to be brought to you live on YouTube, but technical difficulties are hindering that at the moment. But this game will be uploaded to YouTube and also put on Channel 20. So there's the first snap. 21 for Pine Plains goes left, gains about 5 yards, and then is brought down. So the 21 would be Andrew Speedling.
The class of 2022 is doing their fundraising efforts by supporting the football game tonight with candy, chips. We have some Gatorade, soda, some water. So if you need a snack, please come down and support the senior class, the class of 2022.
So second down and 8 yards to go for Pine Plains. And almost the first down. So it'll be 3rd and 1. And if you can hear a voice in the background, that's probably Mr. Moyer, the athletic director here for Ellenville. So they're going to make the first down, the Bombers, and a gain of an extra 3. So a big shout out to the crew in the booth upstairs. I know it's their first time, so make sure just before the play happens, so right about now, you should be cutting to the wide shot so you don't miss the ball in case they kick it or throw it. So go to the wide shot. Here, and the wide shot can be a little bit closer, but that's great because we can see the whole play in action there. And they bring him down and then go back to the close-up. So the wide shot can get a little bit closer than that. I think that's Ariel. So Ariel can zoom in just a little bit more and tilt down just a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good. Ariel wants to be able to see, or the wide shot should be able to see every single player that's active on the field from full left to full right, whereas Gabe's close up, say between plays, can be nice and close on whatever's about to happen. So say just as they throw the ball or snap it, you want to cut to the wide shot. And follow the ball. And the 24 brings it out of bounds. It is first down to the Bombers, the 21. Sweep and left. He's going to knock in to the 6, I think it was. We just about stopped the touchdown. This is the 8 maybe for Ellenville. That'll be Josh McNeil. 21 is Andrew Speedling. Now this game is a non-division game for the Bombers. Two receives the ball, tries to charge forwards. So it'll be second at about 7. There's about 7 minutes 57 on the clock. Score is still 0-0. So the opening drive for the Pine Plains Bombers. They look to get a touchdown the right side. Well tackled between the 8 and the 55 and the 30. Josh McNeil. The 30 is Emmanuel Alson Lopez, and the 55 is Christopher Pinkerus. All doing their part. Ooh, low throw. Stopped by the 28, looking for the 24 of Pine Plains. Now, Pine Plains roster sheet is quite small. I don't have a 24, whereas Ellenville's roster sheet is quite long. So fourth down, they are close. They're going to try a run. Oh, a nice fake to the left. Caught Ellenville's defense off guard totally, and the 21, Andrew Speedling, makes it 6 points to 0 for Pine Plains with a wonderful touchdown. Really nicely worked move. Caught the Ellenville defense. You saw 2 defenders there for Blue Devils just try to sandwich the guy who they thought had the ball, and then they both went past him and realized, wait a second, he doesn't have the ball, and the 21 was off to the races. And a clear run to go there. About 10 yards he had to go, maybe 15 yards he had to get to the goal end zone. And the 21 again has it to the left, and they cannot stop him again, so he's going to be a player to look out for today. I've said his name a few times. I'll say it a few more, I'm sure. Andrew Speedling, the number 21, senior running back and defensive back for the Pine Plains Bombers, makes it 8-0 with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So Pine Plains take the early advantage here. Ellenville going to have to come from behind to get back into this one. I do keep trying to work with my equipment here to get the YouTube stream working, but it is just not cooperating with me today, so I really apologize. For anyone that wanted to watch this live, not that if you're listening to this, you're obviously watching live because you're not live. So that's my apology there. But we are recording this game. So see if at some point after this we'll get a shot at the scoreboard. We'll practice that. But let's focus on seeing what happens here. Yep, nice. Close up on the kicker, and just before he kicks it, you want to cut to the wide shot. And make sure both cameras follow the ball. It's going to be the number 11, James King. Kicks it, and then you got to find that ball to the right a little bit. Ellenville's 26 picks it up, drops it, and then manages to dive on top of it. The 26 there, Walter Evans, senior, got a little lucky there to not totally lose the ball and give it back to Pine Plains. Instead, he recovers it on the Ellenville 25 or 26-yard line, 25-yard line. So, yep, there's a scoreboard. Great shot. 6 minutes, 46 seconds to go in this first quarter. Nice work upstairs. First time for many of my crew tonight doing any event for the Ellenville TV and radio broadcasting outlets. And the 23 does a really nice job. Just gets pushed out of bounds in the end, I think. But did a really nice job there to do a little slow to Casimiro Pomales. Did a great job to slow down. He was charging towards the left wing defender, saw him come, and then he slowed right down. Got past that initial defender, and then it took the second defender covering to actually take him down and push him out. But he made first down and then some. So great run there by Ellenville's Pomales. We're going to restart on their own 42. Oh, and Pine Plains hustling on the defense to stop the 26 from going anywhere. Walter Evans. And so this is, of course, 8-man football, meaning the field is slightly narrower than traditional. Now, of course, there are less players on the field than the traditional 11-a-side. Oh, again, a nice skip from Pomales. The 33 takes one out, but the ball is knocked loose. And Pine Plains recovers the ball. And that's disappointing for Ellenville and Pomales. Giovanni Ramirez, the 7, walks away with the ball. Initially, you thought that was a great charge and hit by Pomales, but he knocked the defender down. But then he lost the ball because of that challenge. The ball fell to the ground, and Pine Plains recovered. So it will be Pine Plains first down. Ellenville gives up the turnover with 5 minutes, 19 seconds left in the first quarter. And they are down by 8 points. Pine Plains now, their second drive of the day. We'll see what they can do. Oh, and then was able to bring him down in the end. Loss of yards. Loss of almost 10 yards. So it will be second and about 20. No, I'm missing the line. Excuse me. Loss of about 5 yards. 4 yards even. So it'll be second and 14. Yes. I'll be right back. What's up, Tim?
20 singles. That's what I got you.
Hey, if time expires during the play, can the way you turn the buzzer off so the buzzer doesn't go into the play?
What's that?
If time expires on the play, is the way you turn the buzzer off so that doesn't sound?
I don't think so.
What do you want to know? How to turn the buzzer off,
Buzzer
basically?
off, I guess. Yeah. I'm not sure.
All right, this is Mr. Buckler back as Ellenville kicks the ball. It's going to be caught just inside the Pine Plains half by the 21. Mr. Speedley, and he's brought down, gaining only about 4 yards. So that is the end of the first quarter. Ellenville down by 8 points to Pine Plains thanks to number 21, Andrew Speedling. He made the difference in the first quarter with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
And as you can see,
So
that ends our
they
first period with the
had the
Bombers
lead.
up 8-0. Touchdown scored by number 21, Andrew Speedling.
All right, so we are back for the second quarter, only about 9 seconds in. And score still Ellenville 0, Pine Plains 8. There is a player down, so the both sets of players have paused and taken the knee. So he is back on his feet, though. It's the Ellenville 25, and he's moving a little gingerly, but he's moving. That's Jacob Roller. Yep, he's running off the field, so that's good. It's not a serious injury. At least.
Good to see number 25, Jacob Roller.
But Roller is off the field, so we are ready now to resume. The clock is ticking. It is third down, Pine Plains, 3rd and 1. Great run through the backfield. And he's brought down eventually. Another Ellenville player down there to catch his breath before he gets up. That's the number 8, Joshua McNeil. But I think it's, again, Mr. Speedling. He got the scores in the first quarter, and he's causing havoc to Ellenville again today, number 21 for Pine Plains. First down. Just inside the Ellenville 45-yard line. So he does hand off to the 24, making a run to the right side. Ellenville's defense going to get called out here, I think. The 23 is trying to close him down. And he's not going to make it. The 23 of Ellenville could not stop. That's Casimir Pamales. The 24, again, I don't have the 24. So it could be Riley Mora or Liam Bauer. I'm not sure who the 24 is for Pine Plains. So I don't have that number on my roster. But he'll be happy. Got a touchdown, I think. Oh, maybe he stopped him just before the touchdown? He got it, didn't he? It was 24 for them. But I don't have 24. Is it not a touchdown? No. I apologize. It was not a touchdown. He was stopped yards from the goal. It's going to be 1st and goal.
I think it was that kid that ran, Strocker.
Oh, okay.
Was it 24 or 23?
24. So I apologize. It was not a touchdown by the 24, but he got close enough. It's going to be 1st and goal here. The number 2. Nice. Cuts inside with the run himself. Dives over the line, and that is a touchdown. The number 2 there, Richard Lamping, 11th grader. Lamping, that was, with the fake handoff. That was the 2-yard conversion. Apologies again. So it was a touchdown, and then that was another 2-point conversion, excuse me. So Pine Plains now leads by 16 to 0. Let's get a shot of the scoreboard.
16 with a 2-yard or carry by number 2, Richard Lamping, for the 2-point conversion.
Let's see if we can get a shot of that scoreboard to show what is not pretty reading. I love how the lights there of the runway look in the top left of your picture. That's the local airfield. You can see the lights glistening and glimmering in the distance. Let's get a quick shot of the scoreboard if we can. Gabe can do the wide shot if he wants real quick while Ariel gets the scoreboard. All right, we're going to kick it. Let's stay on this, Well, let's make sure we see the kick. There's the kick. Caught. Now cut to the wide shot where the game is active now. That takes priority. And Ellenville's player is going to finally be brought down on the 45-yard line. Terrific run by the 23 of Casimir Pamales. He received it on about the 30, and he made it all the way up to the other 45. So about a 25-yard gain on receiving the kickoff. So well done by Pamales. to try to inject some life into this Blue Devil team. They got a lot of work to do. Down by 2 scores at 16-0. So I'll tell you what is great to see, though, and that is the number of people who are out and about. We've missed this last year when the football in the Fall 2 season finally resumed. Crowds were limited. So it has been a long time, almost 2 years since we've had these kind of outdoor events and crowds here at the Ellenville Central School District. So it is nice to be back, nice to have a crowd back. And what's been a very, obviously, everyone knows, a crazy 18 months or more. It is nice to have some kind of normalcy returning. Still plenty of people wearing masks. But the fact that people are here and are allowed to be here and want to be here is the main thing. And so we are appreciative of that. Lots of support here for the Blue Devils on this nice night. Temperatures dropping this evening. About 70 was the high today. As Ellenville charged down the center for a it's first in inches somehow. I'm not sure what's going on with the yard markers, but yeah, the temperature is dropping. It's supposed to get to about 50 degrees tonight. Say 70 was the high around 3-4 this afternoon, but by midnight it's going to drop fairly quickly to about 50 degrees. The 4 is down for Pine Plains. So it will be first down Blue Devils. Well, it's a pretty important drive for them to try and stay in this game. Eight and a half minutes to go. Ellenville going to be getting this first down underway from the 33-yard line. Number 5, season opening. He's going to take it. He's going to sprint it, and he's going to make it. Excellent run by David McCombs, the Ellenville number 5. He stood back, took a couple steps, looked for his options, and realized there is a hole to my left. I'm going to take that hole, and I'm going to sprint. And there is a running quarterback play. Great close-up and great work from the cameras upstairs. Doing fine job. I love it. Look to my camera to see what they're looking at, and they are looking at a close-up on Mr. 5. And now nice, beautiful wide shot there. Excellent work. I'm loving it, guys. Doing a really nice job upstairs. Again, shout out to Stefan, Ariel, and Gabe on my tech crew this evening, on the broadcast crew. At Ellenville, we said that was an important drive to stay within the game, and they got it. So they are down by 10 points. And let's see if they go for the 2 or if they go for the kick. It looks like they are going to go for the 2. Handoff. Oh, he's going to get knocked down. I'm not going to get the 2. Took a hit.
Stopped the 2-point conversion.
Walter Evans stopped.
Lead 16-6.
So Ellenville down by 10, but that's a lot better than being down by 16. And they're back in the game here with 8 minutes, 13 seconds. Now let's see if we can get a shot of the scoreboard, because that's a beautiful close-up. So don't take the wide shot. Instead, have that wide camera get us a shot of the scoreboard. Excellent. Great job. Great job. There's the score. You can see from the flag that there is no wind. If you zoom out slowly on that scoreboard shot, you'll see the flag hanging down from above. So go ahead and do a slow zoom out on that scoreboard. Nice and slow. Yep, so earlier, just before they, yeah, you can keep zoom out a little bit if you want. Just before they, well, you can go back. You can go back to the game. They're getting ready to kick off. So go back to the game for me. Thank you. But yeah, there was a flag hanging down. It's actually parked from one of the local fire companies. Has the engine with the flag hanging down just to the side of the field there. Oh, and a kick is immediately caught, and the man drops to the ground. Fortunate there, the 54, Sam Rigolino. It just came right to him. They tried the low kick, and it just bounced. Didn't actually even bounce, flew straight into his arms. And he said, yep, thank you very much. Dropped to his knees, made sure he had control of the ball. And it will be first down on the Pine Plains 47-yard line. So they'll be happy with that. So first down, Bombers. Hand off to the 21. Speedling, tug down. Caught him by his shirt in the end, it looked like. The 26 and the 23. That's Walter Evans and Casimiro Pomales on the defense. Causing a loss of about 2. So it will be 2nd and 12. Clock is ticking. Under 8 minutes to go until halftime. Oh, the throw is blocked, and Ellenville couldn't quite get it before it hit the ground. He was reaching for it. He wanted it. It was a great block on the throw. The number 8, Josh McNeil, just tried to get to it. So that could have been a turnover, but in the end, just unable to get it. So it will be 3rd and 12. Let's remind you of the coaching staff for both teams. For the Ellenville Blue Devils, of course, head coach is Dan Cavanaugh, assisted by Andrew Grigliano and Lamarck Logan. While Pine Plains, coached by Rob Scott, assisted by Andy Anderson and Michael Cooper. Oh, and the 21 got lucky, but thrown to the ground. Great tackle by the 23, Casimiro Pomales. The 21 there, Speedling. Casimiro said, nope, you're not going to get away this time. And he slammed him to the ground. 21 seems to be walking fine, but that was a great tackle. Causing a large loss of yards. So it's actually 4th and 18, give or take. And they're going to have to punt this one, I'm sure. So make sure they're ready for the punt upstairs. Ellenville's got, I think, Casimiro Pomales in the backfield to try to get a receiving run. There's the kick. And it's going to go out of bounds. And it went out on about the 36-yard line in Ellenville's half. So 6 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in this half. It will be Ellenville's first down, Ellenville's ball. Yep, nice work, cameras. Doing a fine job upstairs. Pictures look clean, look crisp, nicely framed. And nice transitions between the two shots. So great work upstairs. So first down on the 36. Or actually on the 40-yard line, I'm sorry. Oh, McCombs waits. decides to run. Loses about 4. Took a long time looking for an option to throw it to. In the end, would have liked more, I'm sure, from that one. Second and 14 for Blue Devils. Handoff. And I thought he found a pocket there on the right. Gained a couple back. But well tackled by the Pine Plains defense. So it will be 3rd and 10. McCombs has time. The 91 goes for the throwing play. Oh, almost. It almost found its man, but then it was almost intercepted by the 7. Giovanni Ramirez couldn't quite get a hand to it, but it did enough to block the receiver from getting the ball at least. So nice idea from Ellenville. Almost worked out, but it will be 4th and 10. Five minutes, 11 seconds to go. Ellenville still down 6-16. And looks like we have a timeout. Timeout. Do you know who called it? Blue? So Ellenville called the timeout. Let's get a close-up. Perfect. I don't need to ask for it. There's a nice close-up there of the huddle. You can see Coach Kavanaugh, Coach Grigliano, and there's Mr. Moyer would know. Who's the coach on the right? That's not Mr. Logan. There's 3 coaches there. You got 1, 2, 3. Who's the
Coach Wardinsky, who's one of our modified A coaches.
That's Coach Wardinsky on the right there, a modified A coach assisting the varsity team right now. Coach Logan is there. He's actually in the bottom left of your picture, just out of picture with the helping out Mr. Roller. So there's at least 4 coaches out there. Wardinsky, Logan, Kavanaugh, and Grigliano. There you go. Nice. Excellent. Look at that. There's the close-up of Coach Logan helping out Jacob Roller. The 25. I think taking his jersey off for now. I think Roller's probably going to be out for the rest of this game. But we're getting ready to resume here. It's 4th and 10. Ellenville probably is going to kick it, so good idea to be wide as that. As you see the man, the 21, I can see retreating to receive this kick. It's a nice high kick. He's going to catch it without a bounce. And takes a second to get back up there as he definitely got caught by an Ellenville player. 21, Andrew Spieling. They do not want to lose him to an injury because he has been the threat for most of this game. So 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go until the halftime. It will be first down, Bombers on their own 45. Oh, and the 21 almost dropped it. He managed to hold on to it and then gain a few yards. Gain of about 4. Great to see lots of Ellenville alumni here in attendance tonight. People who graduated last year or even the year before. Class of 2021 and class of 2020 I can see in the stands. As the 24 Pine Plains gets pushed back to the start of the drive line. So it's going to be 3rd and 10. Great defensive play there. I think I see Roller, that is Jacob Roller, leaving the field, so he's done for the day. Number 25, but he was walking off the field, so that's obviously a good sign that he was able to walk off the field all by himself. But he's done, so you won't see him out today. Hopefully he's able to recover in time for the next game. When is the next game, Mr. Moyer? Next Friday will be an away game, so the following game from this is an away game at Dover for the Blue Devils, and it's going to bounce on the floor. And there could be a flag on the play there. The Ellenville player, no flag thrown. I thought there might have been some illegal holding or interference as one of the Ellenville players looking to recover the ball was held. It looked like to me, so he was like, held back from recovering the ball. Either it didn't happen, or I'm just seeing things, or well, it's not even a foul. So Pine Plains, it will be 4th and 6, or 4th and 7. Throwback. Oh, he's going to kick it. Almost blocked by Ellenville, but it's a nice high kick. Ellenville's going to let it bounce. So Ellenville's going to be restarting way back in their own half. Almost on their own 20. Close to the 25 it looks like, but 23 maybe. So 2 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in the half. There'll be another half to come after that. And we're still down by 10 points. Oh, and a great catch. Lovely throw. And a really good catch on the run over the shoulder from the Ellenville number 8, Josh McNeil, to gain a significant amount of yards there, probably 20 yards in gain, or at least 15 from where they started. So it'll be 1st and 10 on their own 40. Another throwing play, drilled low and hard. And in the end, a little bit too low and too hard for Pomales to grab. But nice idea. Oh, there's a big old pile up in there. He's going to try to retreat to gain some yards. It's not going to work out for him in the end. 59, I think that is. That'll be Michael Doria, I think. There was just a big old mess of bodies in there. No one was going to go forwards, and he decided to try to go back and around. Maybe it's 55, I'm sorry. It might be Christopher Pinkerus. Or 56 would be Ryan Thompson. He's out there. but in the end couldn't gain any yards and in fact lost quite a few. Lost about 6. So it'll be third and 15. And we'll hustling to make something happen here. McCombs now, he's going to get the 21 is just going to sack him. There's the 21 for you, Mr. Speedling, living up to his name. Ellenville's McCombs looking for a pass and then just swamped by Speedling, giving him no options to throw to. The only option is just to turn and dive on the ball, so it's not a turnover in such a deep position. But Ellenville's going to have to punt this one now. Let's see if they can even get it as far as the halfway line if they're lucky. Minute 17 to go. Clock is ticking. Minute 15 to go. Pine Plains would love to get this ball back quickly and try to get another score on the board before halftime. They're going to punt it. It's going to just. Oh, right over the halfway line. He dropped it. Ooh, and the 21 goes down. Flag comes in from the Pine Plains side. He recovered the ball right about the halfway line. It's 58 seconds to go on the clock. Should be Pine Plains first down. And they're pushing him back, actually 10 further yards. Maybe a 10-yard penalty on the defense. The official in the booth next to me says yes. What's your name, sir? Kevin. Shout out to Kevin up here in the booth. He's the man running the scoreboard for the officials this evening. And he's able to help me out a little bit if I have questions on what just happened. So it was a 10-yard penalty. It's first and 10. On their own 40 with 58 seconds to go for Pine Plains. Oh, he's found his way through the middle to gain 5 yards at least. And eventually he's dropped by the Ellenville number 4. That's going to be Joseph Cortez. Helping to stop him there. And a gain of about 5 even. So it will be second and 5. With 52 seconds remaining in the half. Ellenville's number 5 gets to take a break while the defense is out there. In fact, we have a timeout. Blue? Timeout visitors. Pine Plains Bombers calling this one. So you can see there, looks like Coach Kavanaugh, I think. No, that's not Cav. That would be Garigliano, I think, in the huddle there with Logan to his left, addressing the troops. Addressing the defense, so I wonder if Mr. Grigliano is the defensive coach. It's a fair assumption to make. So 52 seconds left. Second and 5. 4.5. The snap back to the 24. He does well to hold on to it. He's going to try to swing right. He's going to get past maybe 1 or 2, but pushed out of bounds in the end, or forced out of bounds. Right on, or certainly right close to where the yard line. No, not quite. He's about 2 yards short. 45 seconds until the half. Timeout Ellenville, looks like. Coach is not liking something as we're about to resume When there was about a minute and a half left on the play clock, Ellenville had the ball, and they were hoping that a minute and a half was enough time to get down the other end and score, and then McCombs had that retreat and that sack, and then Ellenville had to punt it, and that led to the drive that Pine Plains are on now, and now Pine Plains with 45 seconds left are trying to get another score on the board before the break, and Ellenville not liking that at all. They're still within touching distance at 10 points. They would need 2 scores, but that is not, that's not beyond them at this point, with a whole nother half coming. But they do not want to go down by a 3rd score at this point. That would be a much harder comeback to mount in the second half. So they are desperate to keep the score as it is with 45 seconds left in this quarter. And they got some work to do. We're back out after the timeout. Looking for the throwing play this time. Pine Plains, the 7 was wide open. That's Giovanni Ramirez. I think looking for the ball from the 2, Richard Lamping. And Pine Plains, that they haven't tried the throwing play much at all. They thought maybe they would catch Ellenville out. To be fair, I think they did catch Ellenville out, but the throw just wasn't accurate enough to drop into the arms of the man who wanted it there. But they got another down. I mean, they got all the options here. They're right close to the halfway line, so if they turn it over here, it doesn't really matter. There's 39 seconds left now, so again, not a lot of time for Ellenville to do anything if they get the ball back. So they're not going to punt it. They are going to go for a play here. Throw back to the running play. The 24 is going to run it himself. Skips past the man, gets first down. So great play by the 24, who again, we don't have an accurate number for you. We'll try to maybe get that at halftime as to who the 24 is for Pine Plains. They did really well there. 32 seconds left, and the clock is ticking now. So we might have time for just about one more down, unless they take a knee, in which case we'll get to half. But you never know. They might go for the play here. So they have all the power in the game right now, Pine Plains. 13 seconds on the clock. Oh, the ball is snapped back and dropped. He's going to have to dive on it. 7 seconds left. There's a flag on the play from Ellenville. 5 seconds left on the clock. Barely any time at all. And it wasn't a turnover, so it would just be another down. It would be a second and 25 or thereabouts. Maybe a penalty. I'm not sure what's going on here. No, they're gonna replay the down. No, it's just 2nd and 10, so no loss of yards. 2nd down, Pine Plains on the Ellenville 45. And the time hits 0. And that brings us to halftime. So an entertaining first half. First quarter, Pine Plains taking the lead. Second quarter adding to it, and then Ellenville responding as well. All right, hello and welcome to this live stream. We believe we are streaming live on YouTube, so we thank you for joining us, and it is the resumption of this game. We are in the second half, and there is the kick to begin the second half. The clock is ticking. The ball rolls safely out of bounds. This is Mr. Buckler coming to you in the commentary booth, and upstairs in the camera booth, I want to give a huge shout out to a wonderful first half from Gabe, Stefan, Ariel, and even a little bit of Christian up there as well. And most of those guys, some of their first time on all the equipment we have. So a big shout out to them, doing a fine job, bringing you some wonderful images for Channel 20 viewers, for YouTube viewers. And again, huge apology. There was a massive technical error hindering us from broadcasting the first half live, but we seem to have fixed it. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm going to keep my fingers and toes crossed for the remainder of this half, but we believe we are live on YouTube. And this game will, of course, be replayed in full on YouTube early next week, and it'll be there, for a long time, if not forever, and it'll be on Channel 20 as well. So it looks like they're replaying the kickoff, correct? As a penalty, so that's why they're redoing the kick. So there is still 8 seconds off the clock, but they are replaying the kick. Haven't seen that before, I don't think, and I've been watching Ellenville High School football for about 15 years. 13 years maybe. And that one was a clean and legal kickoff. And so we will get ready for some second half football. So again, this is Mr. Buckler, and the first half went as follows. Ellenville went down by a score by 8, 2-point conversion, then by another 8 thanks to a 2-point conversion. So they were down 16-0. Then they came back with a 6-point touchdown of their own, which they could not get a 2-point conversion for. And that's what puts us at the current state we're in, where Ellenville are down by 10 points, 16-6. But they can change that with almost 2 full quarters of football on their side. 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line. Here we go. McCombs, the quarterback, he scored the touchdown for Ellenville by running it through. Gets knocked as he went out, and the referee there closest to him threw a flag down. He was pretty close to it, so whatever he saw, he was right there. So yeah, McCombs for Ellenville getting that touchdown to get 6 points back on the board. But the standout player from the first half for the Pine Plains Bombers would be the 21, Andrew Speedling. Had an excellent first half, including at least 1 touchdown. We missed, technically he got the 2nd touchdown, but he definitely got the 1st touchdown. So 11.5 to go. And we'll lost about 2 yards there. Maybe 3. So they will get this. Oh, it is 1st down, not 2nd down. 1st down and 13. McCombs hands off to a great charging run from the 23. He can almost make it all the way. I think he's going to be short by about 2. Excellent charge by the Ellenville 23. Casimir Pamales, and he likes to do that a lot, that's for sure. He's had a very good first half as well. Casimir Pamales for Ellenville. He's got confirmation that 24 is 23. It's good to know. As Ellenville tries to get that ball over the line for 1st down. We just got an update that 24 is listed as 23 on the roster sheet. So 24 is Sydney Straker or Straker. Sydney Straker, number 24 for Pine Plains. He was involved in their 2nd touchdown, we think. So if you are watching this game on YouTube, or if you're watching it on Channel 20 and you want to know how to get notifications to watch all of our live events on YouTube, then just subscribe to the Ellenville Central School District YouTube channel, ECS TV. You can sometimes easily find it by searching for ECS TV BOE, because we do cover a lot of Board of Education meetings. But it is the Ellenville Central School District YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to that and hit the bell icon to get notifications, then you will be notified every single time we stream a live video and every time we upload a video. And we try to cover as many sporting events as we can of the home events. So we get a lot of live streams of football and soccer games. And then we also try to record soccer, football, volleyball, field hockey, and bring those to you, and we upload those to YouTube as well. So again, if you're interested in seeing all we have to offer, then be sure to subscribe to the ECS TV YouTube page. We have timeout, home or away, visitor or home. Timeout called by somebody here. Was it timeout home or away? Timeout called by Ellenville. As you can see the huddle there, Coach Kavanaugh trying to get some instruction. So it is third and 1 or third and inches. 9 minutes, 39 seconds to go. Can they get over the line here? McCombs, he's going to spin, and he's going to get pulled back, but I think he did just break the line. So he will be good for first down. So that's what Ellenville will need. They are down, obviously, by 2 scores, meaning they're down by 10 points. So they could get it with, obviously, 2 touchdowns. With no conversions would be an additional 12, or a touchdown and a field goal. Would be 6 plus 3 is 9. Actually wouldn't be enough. They would need a 7-point touchdown plus a field goal to get the full 10. But either way, they are within 2 scores of catching Pine Plains at this moment. Pine Plains making both of their 2-point conversions, while Ellenville not getting their one opportunity to do so. And it looks like a slight confusion here. Are they measuring? Bringing on the chains. I thought he made it quite clearly, but referees want a closer look at this. Let's see if we can get see if he can show us a shot of the measurement. Yeah, there you go. They are seeing. They are going to measure it here. And it's good, yeah. There is daylight. It's a few inches between the flag and the ball, but it was close. I can see why they wanted to make sure. It's a big play, potentially an important decision. So it is Ellenville first down and not fourth down. And they will be playing the first down from the Pine Plains 47-yard line, approximately. Still down by 10 with 9 minutes. The clock is ticking with 9 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Ellen will have the work to do. McCombs hands off to Pomales. He's going to go past the first, cut inside the second, and just almost, it looks like he's tiptoeing backwards. I know there's a lot of force going on there. And a great run by Pomales as he gains a few yards there. Doesn't quite gain the 10 that he needs. So 8.5 minutes, 2nd and 6 for Blue Devils. Motion from the 25. Oh, he skips really well past the first defender. And the second defender wasn't going to let him get away. But that was the 26, Walter Evans, with a positive drive. So it'll be 3rd and about 2. First handoff is a fake out. The second one is real to Pomales. He's going to break the tackles, and again, he will surely. It's going to be close, but I think he will get first down. So taking their time, but making forward progress with this drive, the Blue Devils. Getting now to the Pine Plains 36 or 37-yard line. Now that we have hopefully a full audience on YouTube, we can recognize the coaches. It's Dan Kavanaugh for Ellenville Blue Devils, assisted by Andrew Grigliano, Lamarck Logan, and Pat Wardinsky. Oh, great tackle. Great tackle by 21 on the Ellenville 26. Walter Evans, that's Andrew Speedling, the 21 for Pine Plains. The coaching staff for Rhinebeck, excuse me, well, it says Pine Plains Rhinebeck. I know it's the Pine Plains Bombers. Maybe they're a combo team this year, I'm not sure. Or they're near Rhinebeck. I'm not sure, that just confused me. But it's Pine Plains today that we're playing. Their head coach is Rob Scott, assisted by Andy Anderson and Michael Cooper. They're in the white with navy trim going from left to right in this half. Ellenville, of course, in the all blue with gold trim going from right to left. Hand off to the right is a fake. Great tackle to stop the Ellenville 30 from charging straight down the center. Emmanuel Alston Lopez got a good head of steam to start his run, but then a great tackle underneath him on his legs just to flip him over and really stop him. So Ellenville lost yard there. So they are at 3rd and 11. With 5.5 minutes to go, still down by 10 points. Got to get a score on the board here quick. Number 5 retreating severely, launches it, and he caught it. Was he in bounds when he caught it? Referee says safe. It's in bounds. So what a play that time by Ellenville. He may actually have been so far back that does he even get first down? I'm not even sure if he does. It is 4th down because he had to retreat so deep. It was a long throw. It was a great throw, great catch. And it got him way back up to where they needed to be, but didn't quite break that line. So it is 4th down, and at this point in the game, they are not going to punt it. They are going to go, obviously, for something here. Got to gain 2 yards. Handoff. No, McCombs is going to get swamped, and he's going to lose this one. And he's going to be sacked on the Pine Plains 45-yard line, 44-yard line. And that's disappointing from Ellenville. They got close there, starting to get close enough to have a sniff of the end zone, but in the end, pushed back and turned over. And that's going to be a real hard one to take for Blue Devils as we have 4 minutes, 40 seconds left in this quarter. And that's going to be a hard one to take when they were starting to build some momentum. Now they're going to be pushed back. And now they have to come back. So they're going to keep their heads high. Ellenville hope for a quick turnover. Try and get back into this game. Pine Plains is all about game management now. 24 does really well to break the tackle. He's got a clear run into the end zone, I think. Ellenville's own 24 can't even catch his heels. And the Pine Plains 24, Sydney Straker celebrates with his teammates. Yep, beautiful shot there from the cameras as we see the 24. You can stay on them as they celebrate. Stay on the 24 there as he goes to your left. And excellent play by Pine Plains. 2 downs just turned this game on its head. 2 downs ago, Ellenville were 4th and 2 with about 30 yards in the Pine Plains end zone, down by 10, knowing that they had to get a score to make this game a close finish. And within 2 downs, quarterback was sacked, and then they made a 45-yard touchdown run approximately. That's what it started from, at least. So it'll be actually will be a 55-yard touchdown run approximately. So Pine Plains I told you that was a hard one for Ellenville to take. Their heads went down, and Pine Plains just capitalized on that momentum swing. And now the game is severely in their favor. 22-6. Going to go for the 2-point conversion to try to push all the wind out of Ellenville's sails. No good, I don't think. No good. So at least a small victory for Ellenville there to stop Pine Plains from adding 2 more points to the board, but it's already pretty grim reading, 22-6 with 4 minutes 19 remaining in the third quarter. Ellenville down now by a severe margin. 16 points now they're down by. They were down by 16 points before. And they got 6 back, but now they're back to being down by 16. And that's tough. Tough to take for Blue Devils. But they got to keep their heads high, play the game out, see if they can get something out of this game. There's the kick. It's nice and high. Got a lot of distance on it. And Ellenville's Pomales gets it back to the 35-yard line or 36-yard line. So, yeah, player down in the distance is Pomales. He's about to be helped up to his feet, but maybe not. As Ellenville comes off the field for what's essentially an injury timeout. 24 is over there. That's Devin Berberin to assist his teammate. Coach Grigliano is joined by Coach Kavanaugh to help Pomales to his feet, see how bad the injury is. And he's limping, so it's good at least that he's able to stand up and walk, but it does not look good for his ability to have an impact in this game. Now, I know he is a tough young man, Mr. Pomales, and he's been playing football for a while. He's only an 11th grader, but I believe he's been in the setup since his freshman year, and he is a vital member of the setup at that. So it's a big loss if he's unable to resume. He seems to be walking a bit better now, but at this point, I mean, you want your best players out there to get back into the game, but at what point do you say, you know what, sit down, son, and we'll look after you and try to get you into the next game, because this game might be beyond us. So no sense making your injury worse. So we'll see if he comes back on the field. I know he won't want to quit, Casemiro. He will want to keep going if he can, even if he is carrying an injury. But for the moment, helmet's coming off, and he's going to take a break. But he is walking, so that's good. So 4 minutes to go. First down Ellenville. And the 30 was tackled. To Manuel. Austin Lopez. As McCombs comes over to Kavanaugh. Nice work on the close-up. You can get a little bit closer if you want. Get right in on that huddle. There you go. Excellent. So our clock is ticking. 3.5 minutes to go until the end of the quarter. 22-6 is the score. Pine Plains leading by 16. 2nd and 12 now for Blue Devils. So the wide shot can be a little bit closer. I mean, you still want to be wide, but when you cut to the wide shot, you don't have to be fully wide. You can be a little bit closer so we can just about see what's happening. Whereas the close-up obviously can be extremely close. Let's try to see the sweat and the blades of grass on the players' jerseys. The clock ticking away towards the end of the quarter. Pamales bending his legs, standing up, walking over here on the near side touchline. So, like I said, he'll want to come back on the field if he can. 3rd and 12. And looks like we got timeout. Home team. Timeout Ellenville to stop the clock with 2:12 to go. So the next game for the Blue Devils football team will be next Friday, I believe, away at Dover. This is a non-league game today against Pine Plains, or a non-division game, to be more accurate. So that will have different effects as we approach the end of the season and rankings and on records and all those good things. And next week we hope to bring you live stream, certainly coverage of the girls and boys soccer games. There's one on Monday and one on Tuesday of next week. So we hope to bring you boys and girls soccer. Normally it comes from Leipold Field. Some 4:15 kickoffs on Monday and Tuesday. So again, if you're interested in watching those, stay tuned or subscribe to the ECS TV YouTube channel. And if we can get the live stream to work from Leipold, we will indeed bring you live coverage from Leipold. And then those games will be uploaded to YouTube and broadcast on Channel 20 at a later date once they are ready. Nice long throw, looking for 28. He's caught it. Excellent catch. Ellenville, you said they got to look for some victories here, something to get behind them, get the crowd behind them, and that was one right there. Excellent throw. Nathan Town, number 28, 11th grader, with an excellent catch. The defender was right over his shoulder, but he had belief in his run and in his quarterback to find him, and the throw just fell right into his arms. So kudos to the offense there of Ellenville. A minute and a half, 1st and 10 on the Pine Plains 28. And McCombs, short run, throw, and he's broken the lines, and the 8 should be able to get a touchdown here, nice and easy. And again, 2 plays changes the game for Ellenville at least. The crowd has something to cheer about, and the number 8 has a touchdown, Joshua McNeil. It's now 22-12. So we're back to a 10-point game where we were for much of the 2nd and 3rd quarter. And that was excellent offense for Ellenville. Now they really want to close this gap. Can they get it to an 8-point game? If they can get this conversion. Nice throw across to the 26. I don't think he's going to get it. Yes, he is. Referee says it's good. And he gets the celebration from his teammates. Did you see which number that was for Ellenville? One on the left there. So we think 20. Yeah, it could have been 26 Walter Evans or 28 Nathan Town. It was hard to see there exactly which runner got the 2-point conversion. There was a lot of bodies trying to push him back for Pine Plains, but unable to push him back enough. So great 2-point touchdown, 2-point conversion for Ellenville on the touchdown. And now their heads are back up again. So again, credit to them. They could have let this game just totally go away from them. But before we've even got to the final quarter, a minute and 15 on the clock, Ellenville is back in the game. And the fact that Pine Plains did not get a 2-point conversion on their most recent touchdown and Ellenville did, it means we are looking now at an 8-point game, which is a single-score game. So kudos to Ellenville. They're back in this game. They're not giving up without a fight. Low kick, rolls and bounces, and Pine Plains defender dives on the ball. Doesn't want to give anything up. That's number 12. That would be Jake Wolfman, 11th grader. And so, as we approach the final quarter, Ellenville, if they can keep it at this score, going into the quarter break, they will be happy. And they will believe in themselves. They will back themselves to get another score or more in the remainder of this game. It's been a high-scoring quarter, in fact. 3 touchdowns alone in this quarter. There was 3 in the first half. There's been 3 in this quarter. So the fans here today being rewarded with a high-scoring and fairly evenly matched game of football. Oh, he's going to drop it. Oh, he dives on it just in time, I think, to stop the turnover. That's happened a few times today. That ball has been a little bit loose in the Pine Plains' hands. But, so far it's not cost them. They're in the lead. So they're doing okay. But that ball has a few times bounced up when they've tried to hold on to it. So 20 seconds, clock is running. Might run out before we get this this down played. It will be second and, it's quite a bit, second and 16. Either way, it'll get played on the next quarter if we don't get it in this quarter. And with 5 seconds to go, it is going to go down to the buzzer. And there it is, 0-0, end of the third quarter. The score is Ellenville 14. Let's get a shot at the scoreboard. The score is Ellenville 14, Pine Plains 22. There will be 12 minutes of football left in this contest, unless, of course, it goes to overtime. I believe it can go to overtime if the score is tied at 4 after 4 quarters. But doesn't happen all that often. But there is your visual confirmation of the score. It is Ellenville 14, the home team, against the visiting Pine Plains, who have 22. So 14-22, Ellenville down by 8, which is a 1-score game. 6 points for a touchdown, 2 for a conversion, 2-point conversion. That would give them 8 points to tie the game up if they can get it. So that'll be the brief quarter break here. I hope you're enjoying this broadcast or this recording. We thank you for tuning in. If ever you have any feedback, comments are typically, and chat is typically disabled on the YouTube videos. But that doesn't mean that we don't want your feedback. If you have constructive criticism or positive things you want to get to, messages you want to get to us or to our crew, or if you want to promote a non-for-profit or free event happening on our radio or TV platforms, then by all means reach out. My email is alan@welvradio.com. That's ALAN@welvradio.com. And my colleague, Mr. Lukazeski, you can email him, tim@welvradio.com. That's tim@welvradio.com. If you want to give a shout out to any of our crew today, or if you have any ideas or recommendations for our broadcasts, then by all means, reach out to us. Let us know what you think. We try to bring you the best quality coverage we can of Ellenville sports and events. And we're happy to do it. All right, 12 minutes on the clock. We're back underway. Fourth quarter. It was a long second down. Second and 14, thereabouts, and did not gain many. So it's going to be third and long again. Again, Ellenville has some momentum right now, but they have the work to do. Ellenville has to score to get back into this game. Short throw. I believe it was intercepted. Incomplete pass. It was almost intercepted by, I think, the Ellenville 26, Walter Evans, but he must have touched the ground before he had full control of the ball, so it does not count as a complete pass. But a great idea, and almost an interception for Ellenville. A great attempt. So with fourth and long, they're going to punt this one, Pine Plains. He's going to be kicking it from around his own 25-yard line. Pomales is back on the field. We said he would try and continue. It's a deep kick. It's going to almost go over his head. It does. He wants to recover it, but he's probably better off letting it go. No, he's got speed. Despite a slight knock he got earlier in the game, he's going to go down eventually. Pomales, again, credit to him. He's back out on the field. We saw him leave the field with an injury in the third quarter. And no, he's back out on the field now, and he backed himself there to pick that ball up and run away, which he was unable to get too far away from the defenders. So it will be Ellenville's first down on their own 25. The throw is across and dropped by the 23. It's quite often a handoff to the 23, Pomales, from McCombs, but that time it was a throw to Pomales and a little bit too fast for him perhaps. Went through his hands and unable to control it and collect it, so incomplete pass on the first down for Blue Devils. So 10 minutes and 41 seconds remaining. It's going to be 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 11. Should be 2nd and 10 if he just dropped it. No loss of yards. Oh, and he's just a machine, almost unable to be brought down. It took about 3 or 4 different Pine Plains attempts to finally get him down to the ground. I believe it was Pomales. Yet again, a 23. A stellar game for him today. Clock is ticking. 10 minutes and a couple seconds. It's going to be 3rd and 9. So Ellenville needs some yards in this play. Almost found Pomales free in the center. And Pomales just behind him a little bit as he was running. Couldn't get it. So now Blue Devils, they can't afford to lose the ball in this position on the field. That'll be too dangerous, being that they are in this game. So they're going to have to punt it, I think. Even though they desperately don't want to do that, they just want that ball. They got to get it down to the end zone, but they're going to have to kick it, I think. It would be extremely risky to run it, being that it's 4th and 9. Yeah, they are going to kick this one. There's the kick, the great high kick. 21, Mr. Speedling's going to get it and try to put his speed to use. He's going to go out of bounds around the Ellenville 40. So it'll be Pine Plains first down on the Ellenville 40. So it is a good contest of football here today. I know I'm enjoying it. I hope the camera crew upstairs is enjoying it. I got nothing but nice things to say about their job today. They're doing a fine job. Stefan, Gabe, and Ariel. And shout out to Christian as well, who helped set up today. And the 21 is going to dive down. He's almost going to get it. I don't know if he's quite got enough for the first down. Nine minutes. Clock is ticking. Ticking away from Ellenville. It's going to be 2nd and 1 or 2nd and 2 for Pine Plains. Handoff to the 24. He's going to break the tackle and make it for first down as he falls off the sideline in the end. Sydney Straker, or Straker, I do apologize if I am mispronouncing that or butchering that name. Sydney Straker, S-T-R-A-C-H-E-R. 11th grader from Pine Plains, makes it first down. At least I think he did. Yep. For 1st and 10 on the Ellenville 22 for Pine Plains. 8 minutes, 28 seconds remain in this game. They've taken the lead and not looked back. Haven't relinquished the lead yet, or allowed Ellenville to tie it. They have stayed in the lead since taking the lead. But they've never, well, this is the first time in the game they obviously went up by 8 initially, and now they are within 8 points for only the 2nd time in the game. So Blue Devils in these remaining 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Gotta stop Pine Plains here, and they are close on the 20. 2nd down and 7. They got to stop him, and they got to score. Number 2 with the nice fake and throw. Instead, he hands off to the 21. Speedling is just about going to not make it to the end zone. I thought he was going to just tumble into the end zone. Doesn't quite get in the end zone, but he gets close. It's going to be 1st and goal here, I think, for the Bombers. And this would be, again, this would be a tough one to take for Blue Devils. Would be extremely hard to come back by 2 scores within 7 minutes. Well, let's see what happens here. Currently down by 8 points. 7 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. It is 1st and goal. There's some flags on the play, I think. Pine Plains coach makes a change. What was the call? False start, so a penalty on the offense. 5? 5-yard penalty on the offense. And they will repeat the down. So it'll be still first and goal, and that may have actually just knocked him back, actually. Yep, 1st and 13 now. They were initially on the 8-yard line, but that's going to push him back to the 13-yard line. It is first down. 21 wants it, 21 drops it. Oh. Blue Devils couldn't get to that ball first. The number 2 dived on it and dived on it quick. Richard Lamping. That could have been the break Ellenville so desperately wanted. If they could have recovered the ball there, it would have had 6 minutes to go and get the score they need to tie this game up, but they could not get the ball back. So we'll be 2nd down with 19 to go. So a long drive needed, or a long play needed for the Pine Plains. Ellenville doing their best to hold them. Number 2 with a throwing play, clear in the end zone, and a great touchdown. Number 2 with a lovely long throw to Giovanni Ramirez in the end zone. And you can see what it means to the Ellenville 24, Devin Berberin, as he fell to his knees. He knows that that could be it right there with 5 minutes 26 remaining in the game. That score is going to be hard to take. It makes it 28-14. And that could be the blow that knocks Ellenville out in this contest. They've been in it up until this moment. They have not been too far away. So they're down by 14 now. They could go down by 16. They've been down by 16 before. Never let it get to more than that. But to make 16 points up in 5.5 minutes is going to be nigh on impossible here. 24 is not going to get it, I don't think. Great tackle. Lovely combination in the end between 2 different Blue Devil defenders. So Sydney Stracker unable to get the 2-point conversion. It remains a 14-point game. Ellenville 14, Pine Plains 28. There'll be 5 minutes, 21 seconds remaining. And Ellenville needs every single one of those seconds if they can dream of getting 2 touchdowns in this time. It's going to be tough. But if you're a player of the game and if you're a coach of the game, you believe it can be done. You have to believe it can be done. You got to play every second. There was a big NFL kickoff game this week between Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Dallas Cowboys. And that one went right down to the wire with 2 seconds remaining. The Cowboys relinquished the lead to the Buccaneers. They were up by a point, and a field goal went in with 2 seconds remaining to go up by 2. And that's how late these games can change. But that was not a 14-point game, at least not with 5 minutes to go, I don't think. This game is. He skips the first. And in the end, about 3 players, certainly 2 there. The 4 and the 8 combined to bring the Ellenville runner down. The 8 is Hunter Rivers. I'm not sure who the 4 is for Pine Plains. So the time is, the time is 9:07 here, 9:06 local time in Ellenville. It's Friday, September the 10th. Temperature is cooling off here, as we predicted or was forecasted. The 5 goes down under pressure to lose about 7 yards. So it would be second and at least 15. Yeah, second and 15. Not what they wanted. But at this point, it's got to be some pretty impressive drives. They've got to get the scores on the board. McCombs is going to get spun around there by the 91. The 91 is Logan Lydon. Haven't said his name yet today, but he was right there on top of McCombs and just did not let go of him. Spun him and dropped him. So 3 minutes, 44 seconds remaining. I will give you a warning upstairs in the booth. At the end of the game, or at least when there's about 30 seconds remaining, we will want to get a shot of the scoreboard to see it count down close to 0. So you don't have to get the scoreboard just yet. Just a heads up that we will want the scoreboard in a few minutes as it approaches 0. Right now there's 3 minutes 23. Clock is running. McCombs has it. Does launch it into the middle. He's still so deep, though. Third down. Even if that's complete, it's going to be 4th and 15. Or more. So inside 3 minutes now. Blue Devils down 14-28. And it's going to be just a hill too far to overcome, I think, for the Blue Devils, but they have put in a good performance today. They can hold their heads up and know that they gave Pine Plains a decent game. It's just going to be a bit too much in the end, I think. Timeout Ellenville. Timeout Ellenville with 2 minutes 33 remaining. So let's go ahead and practice that scoreboard shot. We're going to want to see it a couple times here in the remaining minutes. So let's see a shot of the scoreboard to remind our viewers out there just how long is left in this game and what the score is. And there you see now, earlier in the game, there was no wind. In fact, if you just zoom out a little bit, you can see that American flag is billowing in the wind. So there was not much of a breeze at halftime. No wind at all, but now you can see there is a bit of breeze here. The temperature is dropping, say fairly quickly. It's going to be about 50 degrees tonight. It was 70 today. It was a beautiful day, in fact, today, but it is getting cool here. And the breeze is going to make it cooler as well. But certainly not bad conditions to play a football game in. So just keep that shot, ready, or get ready to get back to that shot as we approach the 0-0-0 on the clock. But sometimes 2.5 minutes takes 2.5 minutes. Sometimes 2.5 minutes takes about 20 minutes. We'll see how many timeouts are played or how many penalties or flags or whatnot could happen. So Ellenville will certainly try their best to slow the clock down as much as possible. Try to get some points on the board here with 2.5 minutes to go. All right, let's go back to the game shot. So it is 4th down. Ellenville with at least 15 yards to go. It's probably closer to 17. So McCombs going to have to pull something special out of his locker here. He's got to launch one. And it's going to be an interception by the 12. He doesn't even feel like running for it. He knows that will be the game. No need to run and get injured or even go for another score. They can just catch the ball, be touched by an Ellenville player, and say, sure, we'll put the ball down here, and we will run the clock down from here on out and take the knee, which I got a question for the official with me in the booth. If you were to take the knee on all 4 downs, how long of the clock would that kill in total? So how much time is there between plays? Yeah, about a minute of game time. So Coach Kavanaugh wants the players to keep up with the ball. So we're at 2:21 on the clock, and we know that, well, we're almost positive they're going to take the knee a few times here, if not every time. Let's see. They might play it. No, they're going to play this first one. Number 2 is going to run, push off the defender. Great push by the 2. Strong arm. And he makes a lot of progress there. Excellent running by Richard Lamping. And they did not take the knee. They did not need to. They ran that ball. They were celebrating on the previous play because they knew with 14 points remaining it's going to be basic. That was the one there that would make this game a comfortable final 2 minutes. 2 minutes is ticking. So the ball did not go out of bounds. The clock is ticking. How long is the play clock in high school football? 30 seconds? 30 seconds. 25, 30 seconds. 25? 25 seconds is the play clock. So with 4 downs, you can kill a minute 40. It is first down now, so now they could take the knee every time and just finish this game out. No, they're going to play it again. So credit to Pine Plains so far for not just taking the knee. They could have done it twice. They've so far remained to play, but there's only 50 seconds. So let's get maybe 1 camera on the scoreboard and 1 camera on the game. You can switch over whoever's doing close-up can actually switch over to the game shot, like a wide shot, so that we have a shot of the scoreboard. Yep, so I have 1 camera on the game, 1 camera on the clock. Yeah, there you go. So zoom out a little bit. Whoever's close-up can just zoom out just a little bit if it's Gabe. You can stay on, there you go, so he can stay on the game and just keep the other camera on the clock. So now they will take the knee. There you go. So cut back to the game for a second. And you can see they are celebrating. And when that clock hits about 5 seconds, you can cut back to it to see the last few seconds tick down. But that will be game. Ellenville is going to lose this one, 14-28. Thank you so much for your help in the booth. And there you go. There is the clock running down to 0. And that will do it for today's game for Blue Devils. They lose 14-28. Well done to the Pine Plains Bombers. Now let's cut back to the field and see the handshakes between the two teams. But that will conclude the broadcast for us here on WELV and Channel 20. I want to give a huge, huge, huge shout out and thank you to my technical crew upstairs. They've done a fantastic job today. I hope they had fun. I'm very pleased and very proud of the work they've done today. So a big shout out to Ariel, to Gabe, and to Stefan, and a shout out to Christian as well for helping us set up earlier this afternoon, and a big shout out to Mr. Lukaseski as well for his help. This has been Mr. Buckler, and again, I hope everybody enjoyed the broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and go ahead, you can leave it on the scoreboard for the final shot after the coaches are done. But there's your final shot. Ellenville loses 14-28. Again, thank you for watching. We'll be back for more games in the future. Stay subscribed to the ECS TV YouTube page for notifications for our next live stream. Until then, have a great Friday evening, everybody.